Happy Sunday, family! Look, I hope you are doing well, and I just wanted to welcome you back to my kitchen. It's been a few weeks since I've been in the kitchen, and I thought I would just jump on here to do a little impromptu little cooking for you. So look, it's Sunday, it's like raining outside, it's winter, and one of my favorite things to do when it's like you want to be inside the house and just like snuggle up under a blanket is to make 2 meals on a Sunday. That's right, people, 2 meals on a Sunday. It's what I like to call my double duty. So Sunday meal is already done. I made some pork chops and I made some green beans with some white potatoes and bacon and all this other goodness. So that's going on, and we'll actually eat that for Sunday dinner. But in case we get a little hungry and we want something else later, I am making my world famous, that's right, I said my world famous turkey chili. So look, I'm going to go ahead. I have some white onions, celery, orange, red, and yellow peppers. I'm going to get that going in the pan. So just get that going there. So we'll get that sauteed up. Let me grab a spoon really quickly. One of the things that you can do for your Sunday prep, like this is such a time saver, is to, while you're doing your Sunday prep, is just to make 2 meals at once, okay? You could use this for something to eat a little bit later, or if you want it, it could be lunch. But I just like to get it out the way. That way, once the week starts and it's Monday, I'm not really coming home thinking about cooking. I'm off of work. I'm not thinking about cooking because I would have made 2 meals on Sunday. All right, so we're going to let this go. We just have our peppers and onions and celery. We're going to just saute that down. I added a little bit of salt. Here's another thing that I do with my salt. I like to use kosher salt and Himalayan sea salt. So I just keep both, and however I'm feeling that day, depending on what I'm cooking. I find that the pink salt is not as salty, if you would. So it just depends on what I'm cooking. So we're going to let this saute for a little while, and then we're going to come back and we're going to add our turkey to the party, okay? So stay tuned. Okay, so the next phase of this whole cooking situation is some ground turkey. I kept saying turkey chili earlier. I don't know what I'm thinking about. I don't know. I was too excited. I'm ahead of the game. But you knew what I was talking about. I know you did. You're like, she's saying turkey chili. Isn't she making turkey chili? But you knew what I was saying. So look, I'm adding some ground turkey to the party. Get that in there. You can use whatever ground meat you would prefer. So if you want to do a beef chili, of course, just add some ground beef. If you want to do a chicken chili, just add some ground chicken to this whole situation. I have a 94, what did I do? 94.6 is what I have for this turkey, for this ground turkey, as far as fat content. I wouldn't do like a 97 in this. Is a little bit too lean. I find that it will be a little bit too dry for me, so I like to do like a 94 in this particular one. And then I'm going to add some garlic, fresh chopped garlic. Always a good thing. If you don't add it to your turkey, to your chili, give it a try, okay? So I'm going to let this whole situation come together. I'm going to add some more salt. You want to salt as you go, okay? Add a little salt here. And then some pepper. Look at my pepper. Don't you ever, is it just me, or are the pepper containers not attractive in the grocery store? You know the metal square one? I don't like it. Don't like it. So what I do with my pepper, or what I did with my pepper today, was I realized I did not have my pepper in one of my my seasoning jars, because I'm like rotating them in and out. But I had this cute little jar left over that I had cleaned. It was some fig preserves that I had. And I said, you know what? I'm not staring at the ugly pepper jar. I'm going to just use this fig preserve jar. So that's something. If you love your jars like me, I am a jar container lover. So I keep my stuff, and you may want to use it for something else. Reuse it. You don't have to go out and buy stuff all the time. Reuse what you have. I got some stuff jumping out. So look, we're going to let this go for a little while. You want to get your meat nice and brown, of course. You don't want it to be any pink in the meat. Right, we want to get that going. So I'm going to clean up these dishes, put my stuff away, and we're going to come right back. We're going to let this continue to cook. Okay? Stay tuned. Okay, family. So let's see. We have our turkey going with our veggies. Just took the lid off here for a second. Now, we want to chop up the meat. Chop up your meat nice and fine. We want to have some nice bite-sized pieces in here. Not big, you know, chunks of chunks of turkey. So to my turkey and veggie mixture, I added some cumin. I'm going to add just a little bit more cumin, and of course some chili powder. You know I don't measure anything, so I'm just taking an eyeball here, just using my eyeball. That's why I like to cook. You know why? You don't really have to measure a lot of things when it comes to your seasoning. Just open your pot, throw some stuff in, pray about it. It's all good. Garlic powder. And then, you know, I'm going to add some oregano to this. Nice little oregano. And you could buy your own chili packet if you would like. The little, you know, the mixture that's already there. I just like to, I typically have all this stuff on hand, so, because chili is like a go-to for me. I'm just opening up my coriander. Just realized I didn't have it. This is a new one. So a couple of palmfuls of coriander. Okay? If you haven't added this to, or 3 palmfuls. If you haven't added this to your chili, do it. I'm telling you, it's nice and smoky and delicious. Then a little hot sauce, couple or 3 or 4 dashes or 5 dashes of hot sauce will get us going. Some Worcestershire sauce. Love it in chili. Just love it. This is like a catch-all for Worcestershire. We want to get that going. Now things are really starting to look delicious in here. Delicioso. Okay, so what I want to do now things are going to really start to move quickly. Chili is so easy, so delicious. I love it. So what I have now, oops, almost knocked it over. I want to loosen this up just a little bit. So I have some chicken broth here. Just some chicken broth that I had in the freezer. In the fridge. And looks like that's it for that. So I'm going to need to buy some more. So we will get that going. Now, for the fun part. Now that the chili is pretty much halfway done, I'm going to add, or actually the turkey. I keep saying the chili. I'm like trying to get to the end. I have 1 can of crushed tomatoes and 1 can of fire roasted tomatoes in here. So we want to add these to the party. Okay, get those in. Every little bit, get it in there. Then I love to add beans. This is where you get your nice additional proteins. And today I typically do 2 to 3 different types of beans. Today I have a cannellini bean, which is a white kidney bean, and a black bean that I'm adding. So get them into the party. And then some tomato paste. I'll add tomato paste. Can I tell you a pet peeve of mine as far as tomato paste? I do not like to buy tomato paste in a can. But I was at the Target today after church, and I could not find tomato paste in a tube. So I just got the one in the can and I transferred it to this. But yeah, I love to buy it in the tube because it stays longer for me. Because it's not something that I cook with like every day. So I love to get it in the tube. With the can, you take it out and then you open it and then what? Tell me what you do with your can of tomato paste versus the tube. Or better yet, buy the tube versus the can and tell me what you think. So now we want to give this a good salting, okay? We want to salt as we go. Again, don't be afraid to salt your food. If you over salt it, add water. Okay, so we got this going. Speaking of which, I'm going to add just a little bit of water in this same bowl. I'm going to loosen this up just a little bit more. Get that in. Then tomato paste has a very acidic, bitter taste, or tomatoes rather. So whenever I'm cooking with tomatoes, I like to use some type of sweetener. And so today I just had some leftover raw honey, or I was like at the end of it. So I want to just add the honey here just to sweeten it up a little bit. It'll help cut the acidity of the tomatoes. And so this is literally what I had left in this particular jar. Just get that out. Just using my same knife. Need to dirty up any extra stuff. Get that in. And then of course, you know, you're in Shaniqua's kitchen. And no meal will be complete without the flax fairy coming through. So you know what, actually, I'm going to do a little bit now and a little bit later, okay? So we're going to let this whole thing just simmer. It's just looking so good. It's smelling great in here. I'm loving it. So I'm going to let this simmer, and then I'll show you the final step. Look at that, it's so beautiful. And it's such a good way to get a lot of veggies, a lot of proteins all in one dish, okay? And I'm gonna add, I can smell it, because you know I don't measure, but I can smell my way to success when it comes to this here kitchen. Add a little bit more chili powder, or a lot. All right, so we're gonna let this simmer. You go and do whatever it is that you need to do in your kitchen for a Sunday. I'm going to sit down and watch a little bit of football while this simmers, and then I'll show you the final situation, okay? Alrighty, stay tuned. So here we have it, family, double duty Sunday. In this corner, we have our chili. I went ahead and spooned it up in a nice bowl here, topped it off with a little cheese and little red onions, and I moved the pot back there, okay? So we can have some room, because I needed to lay this whole thing out. So let's taste the chili. Let's go ahead, give this a try. I'm so excited. You got your beans, your cheese, your meat, your tomatoes. So good. That is some good chili. I love it. You got to try this chili recipe. Or whatever chili recipe you like. Just try it on a Sunday after you've cooked the main show here, which is my actual Sunday dinner. I'm going to give it a try. We have a pork chop that I pan fried. Then I transferred it over to the oven, and I topped it with some onions and mushrooms and butter and garlic and just all this goodness coming through. And then I kind of like slow cooked some green beans with some white potatoes in bacon. Okay, I cooked up the bacon first. Added the onions, the garlic, the red pepper flakes, all that goodness. So let's give this a try. Oh, this pork chop is nice and tender. So you gotta get the pork chop. Don't forget your onion. That is good. Green bean with a little potato. Delicious. I'm not sure what your Sunday is like, but you have to try 2 meals for the price of 1. Well, thank you again for tuning in. I am so grateful for your presence on the Seek Purpose Live Dreams Network. Just looking forward to communicating with you more often. I want to know what you do on Sundays. Let me know what you do. How do you jumpstart your week? Do you do like a 2-for-1 kind of thing? Are you meal prepping? What's your Sundays like? I want to know. So look, in the meantime and in between time, I pray that you will continue to be blessed. All right, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Many blessings to you.